Minority languages in an English world. English is spoken by 1.75 billion people. It is predicted to increase to 2 billion people by 2020. English as second language speakers, or ESL, outnumber native speakers 2 to 1. There are over 40,000 ESL schools in use today. Why are so many people learning English? English is the world's lingua franca, our most commonly spoken language. For people wanting to study, work, and live abroad, English is a necessity. With so many people learning English, what is happening to their first language, or L1? Many countries believe the learning of English shows progress. Because English is becoming so popular with the younger generation, minority languages are dying. There are approximately 7,000 languages in the world. Half are facing extinction. Art Coopers, an expert in Slavic languages, went to Canada recently with the intention of locating and preserving native languages. He came across several minority languages, some limited to a single valley, others spoken only by dozens of people. He learned one and put together a dictionary and primer, but by the time he had finished, there was only one native speaker alive. Languages die because of lack of time, money, and the influence of dominant languages such as English. Does the loss of language equal loss of identity? As more and more people learn English, what is happening to their native language and their identity? BBC had a similar question for its readers who have lost their fluency in their native language. One reader, Lorraine Jordan, a native English speaker living in Italy the past 8 years, said, "The worst feeling of all is when you know the word perfectly well in your second language and seem totally incapable of remembering it in your own language." Nicole Marks, another speaker of English, traced her identity through the process of learning German. She moved from Canada to Germany, where she found that her identity became more closely aligned with that of a German. So did her accent. The moment when a non-native speaker begins to sound native is an achievement for some, but a fear of loss of identity for others. Theorists Potter and Garvin argue that the teachers enforcing a native like accent on the student may also enforce an undesired identity. While English provides people with many opportunities, it can also cause language loss and loss of identity. I believe more needs to be done to preserve languages. Functionalist perspective. Functionalist perspectives, learning a new language has two results. More people can understand and speak in English, which benefits companies and provides a global language for governments and society. However, the more people who learn English, the more their native language and culture are at risk and less appreciated. Conflict perspective. The knowledge of English is power. It is a dominant language taking over the world and killing minority languages. English-speaking immigrants make more money than non-English speakers. Learning English, whether it be in America or abroad, can offer speakers more job opportunities. If a person learns English and has no trace of an accent, they are more likely to get a higher paying job. This attitude that English is a superior language and some accents are bad is an attitude contributed by colonialism. It is an example of false consciousness. Interactionalist perspective. English is a global language which allows people to communicate with ESL speakers. Our language is part of our identity. It limits who we can talk with. Therefore, it may restrict us to a certain group. English will grow to continue and be an important part of people's everyday life.